JB here. Hope everyone's doing outstanding. Thursday, July 24th, 3:34 p.m. on this fine afternoon. Talk really quick about the market. Some names I'm looking at go from there. S&P in the green. What else is new here? It looks like we're going to close higher for the fourth session in a row, albeit small gains, right? None of these 1-2% gains or losses that we've been accustomed to, but back in April. But it's a little different today. I mean, the thing is, the S&P is in the green despite the Tesla weakness, right? So Tesla's down. Uh, well, it's bouncing here, but a little more than 7%. But on the flip side is small caps. Small cap index IWM's down 1.1%. So yeah, so it makes kind of like a mixed bag, right? It almost feels. I mean, there's a lot of names soaring today, and there's a lot of names solidly in the red. So kind of like a mixed bag, but nothing crazy, right? I mean, the dreaded the big 10-year auction went out without a hitch, right? I mean, there's always some kind of potential catalyst. I mean, you still have the rumblings of the Japan yields going nuts, right? That's the next shoe to drop. But for now, I kept talking about 621 to 636 on the SPY. 215 or 220 or so. We hit 636 on the SPY just for probably might have been for like a minute. 636.15, dipped back under 635, and we've just been chopping ever since. So it sets things up for, hey, maybe a little more upside into the weekend. That'd be nice. And then a slate of earnings next week. But today after the close, we have Intel, deck reports. Gosh, I wish I had the guts to get some deck lotto calls, but for now, I'm just going to kind of sit on my hands and eat some popcorn. I'll watch that. We are at the upper Bollinger Band on the SPY, which is 635.30 now. So SPY's upper Bollinger Band 635.30, and we're at 635.30 as I'm talking. So we'll see. We'll probably close right up below that, and then after close, also have to worry about the touring of the Federal Reserve Building by POTUS and his crew. Right? Certainly be interesting. I'm sure there'll be lots of comments. And again, I was mentioned this morning, you hope there's no surprise moment where, I mean, you technically can't fire him, but you just don't want to see that, right? You just say your comments, say you don't agree with them, that's fine, and then move on, right? So that's that on the markets. And here's the small caps, and so disappointing that these small caps just can't go, can't get going. One of these days, right? So that's the overall market. So now just quick on individual names. So RH opened nicely. Was actually over yesterday's highs up to did it hit 625? It was 624 and change, I think was the high after the open. 224, excuse me. And then I was looking, my calls were slightly in the green. Well, not slightly in the green from the close yesterday, still up over 400%. And then it just found weakness. And then it dipped under 220, was hanging there at 220. So in lieu of losing, well, not losing, but a position going from, up 400% to red, I went and closed the rest of the calls out. Definitely a name I'll revisit. I mean, the stock's been in nothing but sell mode since the open, down 3.5% now. So it was in the green to down 3.5%. I don't know if it would be bounce play tomorrow, but I'll certainly be watching. So that's RH. And then Reddit, right? So I had this on the watch list. I mean, I've had Reddit on the watch list since at least April, but I thought there'd be continuation here today on the Google earnings, right? So I wouldn't even call it a relief because I mean Reddit's up 40% since the April lows, or a little more than that. But to me, like Google's earnings, it seems like I mean, Reddit was 180 bucks or whatever, it's 200 bucks, and then it sold off because of concerns around AI, because of concerns about Google's business, and that they're not going to get enough traffic, and then a possible recession, and all those scenarios have kind of been dismissed or refuted, and Reddit hasn't recouped those losses. So that's kind of half of my thought process on why I continue to trade calls, because I think it serves a much higher valuation. The people who are bearish, the analysts were downgrading the stock when it was 110 bucks, right? I think they're wrong. Well, we'll find out when they report earnings. I think they report earnings next week. But anyway, needless to say, I'm watching Google because I thought Google would trade up near 200 today or tomorrow into tomorrow. And then I was looking at Reddit, and the Google 200 calls were like 30 something cents, and the Reddit 155s were like 28 cents or 26 cents. And I needed a $9 move because at the time Reddit was 146 and Google was 193. So I'm like $9 move on Reddit in 2 days or a day and a half, or $7 move on Google in a day and a half. I'm like, oh, to me, there's obviously more beta in Reddit. It's a more volatile stock. I figured it's a better risk reward. If I think there's gonna be upside, I think Reddit would be the better play. So I went and got those calls. At first, didn't look like it was gonna play out. And then Google sold off, and then all of a sudden Reddit took off. Boom, and it was over 150. close some of the calls out for close to 100% to cover costs, and then close some more out for close to 200%, and I'll hold the rest into tomorrow. Uh, the good thing with Reddit, I say the good thing, it's good when it works out for me. It's bad when it doesn't. But when the option market opens on Reddit and it's after the open of the overall market. So I'm looking to get calls on Reddit at the open, and Reddit option market didn't open till like 9:33 a.m. So because of that, I didn't chase, and then it sold off right after the open. So thankful for that. But there's been times I'm sitting on major multi bags on Reddit calls, and then the market doesn't open, and you just hope the gains hold. So today, thankfully, that situation played out and saved me from throwing or chasing, and then I could use that capital to go and get the calls later in the day. So that's Reddit. So I'll continue to hold the rest of those. Don't have much left into tomorrow. Disappointing names here today. I wouldn't even say disappointing. CDLX is still up like 60% on the week. You take a look at the chart. 270 was the big handle. It bounced off at 270 again, all the way back into the almost 290, and then it's back here at 270. So already locked in some of the August for 200% yesterday. I'll just continue to hold those and the October strikes, and then to me, it's a good sign. You see some of these names. I mean, it opens up today. Well, it's only up 7% now. But some of these names are extremely volatile and given back most or some of the gains. CDLX has not really done that. So I think that bodes well for more upside. And, already riding some freebies with profits. So I'll continue to hold those. VKTX, surprising reversal here today. I mean, well, it's back under 34, but opens, last night it was 30. Then this morning, it opens 31 and change, and then dips, and then boom, off to the races. So doesn't change much. I mean, I just got the rest of the August strikes. I already sold some of those. I'll just continue to hold them. My fear now is that that is not going to be by option expiration for August, right? And there's how many more days until 22 more trading days till option expiration on those strikes. And all things considered, I expect them to be almost like a bloodbath, and the premiums kind of held up. So I there's messages I have and talks, but this is like the last hurrah for VKTX. I wouldn't say last because I don't want to say something is forever, right? I mean, maybe I'll trade it in a couple of years or whatever. But for me, if this data comes out, this Royal GLP-1 data comes out and it's flat or maybe better, slightly better than expected, I think the stock might either stay flat or sell off, right? So I hope not. I hope it's another one of those scenarios that we had back in March 2024, February, and a huge number. I mean, I was talking when I was doing my rants on VKTX back in the day. I mean, they have best in class data, right, in regards to oral GLP-1 and regular GLP-1, and they have the best in regards to adverse effects, right? And I mean, those are the two biggest selling points for GLP-1 drugs. So all right, so that's VKTX. Not going to talk too much more about that. And then, like, today's a disappointing day for the OGs. There's a lot of original stocks that I've traded over the years, and today, like, seems like they're all going bonkers, right? Lending Tree used to be one of my favorite names back in the day. It was like a $300-$400 stock. Used to be very volatile, so you can make, you can do speculative trades that turn into serious multi-baggers. I missed the run. I think it was a $10 or $12 stock post-COVID, and then it started to rally last year, and then it sold off after some concerns, and then boom, here it is again. Nice day today. I was looking, only has monthly strikes, so I'll probably pass for now, but kind of love that story. It's funny. Lending Tree is similar to one of my top 5 stocks for 2025, EverQuote, right? So that's that. And then Pool, I was looking. It was on the earnings list. I look at the premiums, too expensive. And then, see the report this morning when the earnings came out, I'm like, oh, they're not that good at earnings. And then stock runs. There was like a miss. The guidance wasn't that great, but I think more of a relief move. And if you look, Pool's very sensitive to rates, right? If mortgage rates, home equity line rates, right? People, when they get pools, it's not like they just open up their piggy bank and take out whatever it is, 50, 100, 150 grand to do a pool. That they usually take out some kind of home equity line of credit or do something like that. So when you have a company like Pool is very sensitive when rates are lower, obviously more attractive for folks to do things like that. But let's see, I didn't even look at the calls. I don't even think they were up too much today, right? So if you go to the August strikes, they're all red, right? I mean, the stock's only up 3% now. So and then the other one, Pool, who was the other one? United Rentals, right? I was trying to trade that back in the 700s. Liberation Day, just another one of those names I kind of just wish I stuck with. But there's just like time, right? There's only a finite amount of time in your day to to do things. There's only a finite amount of time during the day and trading session and what have you to be in a stock, to research, to monitor it, to have a plan, like all those things. It's finite, right? So you can't just have 200 stocks that you trade on a daily basis. That to me, that's not the most useful way to use your time, right? The best way is to find, 10, 15, 20, 25 stocks that like the back of your hand and be able to trade those. And you see a lot of times when I'm in and out of plays, it more so than not, it's because I'm familiar with the story, right? When Cardlytics was running on Monday, it's not like I just go get the calls because it's running like most people on like Reddit do, right? Oh my gosh, let me get Krispy Kreme donuts. They don't even know the fundamentals of it, but they just see it running, and some people get lucky, right? And a lot of trading is luck, right? Luck is when opportunity preparation meets opportunity. But most times, the more you do that, the higher the odds that eventually it's just going to come back to bite you, right? So that's kind of frustrating to see these names run, but then at the same time, it's only can do so much. So you got to focus on what you can focus on. Other things, I was still looking at Dexcom calls into earnings. The 105s look interesting. I was looking possibly to add those today, but I'll probably wait till tomorrow just because we are at all-time highs here on the SPY. So who knows? I keep saying one of these mornings we're going to wake up or overnights and it's future's going to be down 1%. We're like, what the heck happened? You'll look for news. There'll be no news, and it'll just because, right? My fear is that maybe there'll be some kind of announcement here this afternoon. Hopefully not. Oh, is he talking? Also President. Oh, Fed Chair Powell's going to be there. Hey, okay. Oh, maybe they shake hands and kiss babies. That'd be nice. All right, let's have a great afternoon, folks. I'll be back rock and roll.